Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshvabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttamaśloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Hare Krishna, I welcome all of you for today's Bhakti Vedanta class. So today we will be discussing 31st chapter of 11th canto. Okay, so yesterday we discussed 30th chapter. So in that chapter we have seen how Krishna, so he is instructing his Yadus to go to Prabhasa Kshetra and doing that charity and so on and so. So after that, so there's also left they drank wine beverage, some special beverage, intoxicating beverage, and finally they went to Swarga. So Krishna also, so his feet is shooted by arrows by a Jara, a hunter whose name is Jara. And after that, yeah. So Lord there is a little discussion was there between Jara and Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead. And after that, Lord gave the liberation to Jara also. By the body, he went to Vaikuntha. And next, so Lord, at the time, so Daruka came and Daruka, who is the chariot driver of Krishna. So he met him, Daruka. Yeah, Daruka. So Krishna was instructing him to tell the total news to all the Yadus and to come out from that city, so that, and also he instructed all of them to go with the Arjuna to Hastinapur. Okay, so next, what happened after that? So that means Daruk is going to Dwarika, and in that Dwarika he will be instructing. So Daruka is going to instruct the members of residents of the Dwarika and how they reacted. Further story we are going to see here. Sri Sukha Uvacha Atatatragamad Brahma Bhavanya cha samam bhavaha Mahendra Pramukha Deva Munaya Saprajeshwara. Sukadeva Goswami said, then Lord Brahma arrived at Prabhasa along with Lord Shiva and his consort, the sages, the Prajapatis, and all the demigods headed by Indra. Because Krishna is about to leave now to his abode, so that's why these all demigods also came there. Because they only invited, so now, so at the leaving time also, they should present. So, ekatrimshe bhagavataha cha antardhanam nirupyate devaki vasudevadehe vasudevader rukminyadehe tataha param. So we are going to see in this chapter disappearance of Supreme Lord, also Devaki, Vasudeva, and Rukmini, and others. All are disappearing in this chapter. So we will also disappear after this. So Devan Yadun Vidhayadau Bhuyaha Devan Vidhaya cha Sri Krishna Swechaya Dhama Swatantyaiva Samavishat. In this, so some places commentary is there that is clearly covered in the purports. So we'll be seeing those purports whenever it is needed. So all these demigods came anyway when Krishna is about to leave. And who else came? That means Brahmaji came, Shiva came, there Indra also came. And also we are seeing Pitaraha Siddha Gandharva Vidyadhara Mahoraga Charana Yaksha Rakshamshi Kinnarap Saraso Dvijaha Drashtukama Bhagavato Niryanam Paramotsuka Gayantascha Grunantascha Shauraihi Karmani Janmacha. Their forefathers, Siddhas, Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, and great serpents also came, along with the Charanas, Yakshas, Rakshasas, Kinneras, Apsaras, and relatives of Garuda, greatly eager to witness the departure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As they were coming, all these personalities variously chanted and glorified the birth and activities of the Lord Krishna. It's clear. All they were discussing, oh, Krishna did this, Krishna did that, this, that, like that. Next. Fourth. Paurusha Va Vinika. Huh? Vauru. Paurushu Paurushu Pushpavarshani Vimanavalivirnabha Kurvantaha Sankulam Rajan Bhaktya Paramaya Yuta. O king, so crowding the sky with their many airplanes, they shower down flowers with great devotion. Next, Bhagavan Pitamaham Viksha Vibhutiratmano Vibhu Samyojyatmani Chatmanam Padmanetre Nyamileya. Seeing before him Brahma, the great grandfather of universe, along with other demigods, who are all his personal and powerful expansions, the mighty Lord closed his lotus eyes, fixing his mind within himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Here some interesting commentaries are there. Lord closed, that means all they are in front of him, but he closed eyes. Why Lord I closed his eyes and he is acting that he is going into Samadhi? What is the reason? The reason is, you see, in the purport, it is clearly explained anyway. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, Srila Sridhar Swami, Lord Krishna had previously answered the prayers of Lord Brahma and other demigods who had requested the Lord to descend within this universe for the protection of his servants, the demigods. Now the demigods arrived before the Lord, each one desiring to take the Lord to his own planet. Now demigods arrived before the Lord, each one desiring to take the Lord to his own abode. हमारा planet आ जाओ, हमारा planet आ जाओ. They want to keep him. To avoid these innumerable social obligations, the Lord closed his eyes as if as absorbed in samadhi. This is Sridhar Swami. Next, Srila Jiva Goswami add that Lord Krishna closed his eyes to instruct the yogis how to live this mortal world without attachment to anyone's mystic opulences. All the demigods, including Brahma, are mystic expansions of Lord Krishna, and yet the Lord closed his eyes to emphasize that one should fix one's mind on the Supreme Personality of Godhead when departing from this world. This is the opinion of Jiva Goswami. Yeah. Next, Lokabhiramam Swatanum Dharana Dhyana Mangalam Yoga Dharana Yagnaya Adagdva Dhama Vishatswakam. Without employing the mystic Agneyi meditation to burn off his transcendental body, which is all attractive resting place of all the worlds and the object of all contemplation and meditation. Lord Krishna entered into his own abode. Like Sati, she burnt up. So, but Krishna, he didn't burn his body by raising the fire, but he transcendental body along with his body only. So he went. Here, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur reminds us of Lord Krishna's statement in the 11th canto, chapter 14, verse 37. Vahini madhye smared rupam mamaitha dhyana mangalam. Within the fire, one should meditate upon my form, which is auspicious object of all meditation. Since Lord Krishna's transcendental form is present within fire as the maintaining principle, how can fire affect that form? Thus, although the Lord appeared to enter the mystic yoga trance, the word adagdva indicates that the Lord, since his body is purely spiritual, bypassed the formality of burning and directly entered his own abode in spiritual sky. This point has also been elaborately explained by Srila Jiva Goswami in his commentary to this verse. क्या explain किए? Adagdva is the important word. Wow. Wow. यदि तु असंग चिंतया वृत्या लोका ये महावैकुंठ ये च आत्माराय महापाश. Okay, we'll go to the next. A lot is there. Next, divi dundu bhayo nedu petu sumana khat satyam dharmo drute bhume kirti srischanutam yayu. As soon as Lord Krishna left the earth, truth, religion, faithfulness, glory, and beauty immediately followed him. Kettle drums resounded in the heaven, and flowers showered from sky. According to Srila Sridhar Swami, all the demigods were jubilant because each one thought Lord Krishna was coming to his own planet. Devadayo Brahma Mukhya Navishantam Swadhamani Avignata Gatim Krishnam Dadrushus Chati Vismita. Most of the demigods and other higher beings led by Brahma couldn't see Lord Krishna as he was entering his own abode, since he didn't reveal his movements. But some of them did catch sight of him, and they were extremely amazed. Sri Vishnu already went. So from him, from in the Krishna, Sri Vishnu entered. Na? So Sri Vishnu already he left along with the Dasharathis. That means who came from the Vaikuntha, so they also became inhabitants of the Vraja, Dwarika. So they along with them, they already left. Demigods also left. Everyone left. Only the now Supreme Lord is there. सौदामन्या यथाकाशे यान्त्या हित्वा ब्रह्मण्डलं गतिर्न लक्ष्यते मर्त्यैस्तथा कृष्णस्य दैवतैः. Just as ordinary men cannot ascertain the path of a lightning bolt as it leaves a cloud, the demigods couldn't trace out the movements of the Lord Krishna as he was returned to his abode. The sudden movements of lightning bolt are seen by the demigods, but not by human beings. Similarly, the sudden departure of Lord Krishna could be understood by the Lord's intimate associates in the spiritual side, but not by demigods. So next, Brahma Rudradayaste tu drishtva yoga gatim hare vismitastam prashamsantah swam lokam yayustada. A few of the demigods, however, notably Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, could ascertain how the Lord's mystic power was working, and thus they became astonished. All the demigods praised the Lord's mystic powers and then returned to their own planets. Rajan parasya tanu brujjananapyayeha maya vidambanamavehi yatha natasya सृष्ट्वात्मनेदमनुविश्य हृत्य चान्ते संहृत्य चात्ममहिनो परतः आस्ते. My dear king, you should understand that the Supreme Lord's appearance and disappearance, which resemble those of embodied conditioned souls, are actually a show enacted by his illusory energy, just like the performance of an actor. After creating this universe, he enters into it, plays within it for some time, and at last winds it up. Then the Lord remains situated in his own transcendental glory, having ceased from the functions of cosmic manifestation. Here a good story is given. So this we have to read. This is a very important story. This is no next will come much. No, this only story. Magic story. I will read one again. A very good story. Vishwanath Chakravarti is giving. Very interesting. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, the so-called fight among the members of Yadu dynasty was actually a display of the pastime potency of the Lord. Since the Lord Krishna's personal associates are never subject to ordinary birth and death like conditioned souls. This being the case, certainly the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself is transcendental to material birth and death, as clearly stated in this verse. The word Nastasya of an actor or magician is significant here. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti tells the following story of a certain magician who exhibits the trick of dying. So, okay. So, a trick of dying. Okay. In front of a great king, a magician approaches. A stake of valuable garments, jewels, coins, and so forth are placed there by the king. Taking a jewel necklace, the magician tells the king, "Now I am taking this necklace, and you cannot have it." And he makes the necklace disappear. "Now I am taking this gold coin, and you cannot have it," he says, and makes the gold coin disappear. Next, challenging the king in the same way, the magician makes 7,000 horses so disappear. Then the magician creates the illusion that the king's children, grandchildren, brothers, and other family members have attacked each other and that nearly all are dead from the violent quarrel. The king hears the magician speaking and at the same time observes these things taking place before him as he sits in the great assembly hall. Then the magician says, "O king, I no longer wish to live, just as I have studied magic, so also by the mercy of the lotus feet of my Guru, I have learned the mystic meditation of yoga. One is supposed to give up one's body while meditating in holy place, and since you have performed so many pious activities, you are a holy place yourself. Therefore, I shall now give up my body." Thus speaking, the magician sits down in the proper yoga posture, fixes himself in pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi, and becomes silent. A moment later, a fire generated from his trance blazes forth out of his body and burns it to ashes. Then all the wives of the magician, distraught with lamentation, enter into that fire. 3 or 4 days later, after the musician has returned to his own province, he sends one of his daughters to the king. The daughters The daughter tells him, O king, I have just come to your place, bringing along with me invisibly all your grandsons and others in good health, along with all the jewels and other items given by you. Please, therefore, give me whatever you consider fitting remuneration for the wisdom of the magic that has been exhibited before you. In this way, even in even by ordinary magic, one can stimulate birth and death. It is not difficult to understand, therefore, that Supreme Personality of Godhead, although transcendental to the laws of nature, exhibits his illusory potency so that ordinary fools will think that the Lord has left his body like a human being. Actually, Lord Krishna returned to his abode in his own eternal body as confirmed throughout the Vedic literature. So this is the story. So that's why it's a magic actually. It's illusory. Nothing happened. Actually, demigods also didn't kill each other. Those the Yadus were not killing at all. Just it's illusory. Simply they drank and they left. But only for the its illusion is created. It is happened like that. And all the others also they followed and they wrote. Vaishampayana and others, Parashar, everyone wrote in their books. And this has happened like that. So that's why others will be cheated actually. Krishna wants to, so yeah, test these people. Matyena yo guru sutam yamalokanitam tvam chana yachanna ranada paramastra dhagdam jagyenta kanta kamapi shama savanisha kim swavane swararnayan mrugayum sadeham. Lord Krishna brought the son of his guru back from the planet of the Lord of Death in the boy's self same body. And as the ultimate giver of protection, he saved you also when you were born by the Brahmastra of Aswathama. He conquered in battle even Lord Shiva, who deals death to the agents of death. And he sent the hunter Jara directly to Vaikunta in his human body. How could such a personality be unable to protect his own self? Is a point actually. So Sukadeva Goswami also is saying same thing. So Krishna is not leaving his body actually. He is not able to protect himself. This is not the fact actually. He is transcendental and whatever he is showing that is only for so illusion actually. So because he did such a great activities. So to mitigate his own and Parikshit Maharaj's distress at the narration of the Lord Krishna's departure from this world, Sri Sukadeva Goswami here gives several clear examples proving that Lord Krishna is far beyond the influence of death. Although the son of Lord Krishna's spiritual master had been taken by death, the Lord brought him back in his same body. Similarly, the power of Brahmana cannot touch, Brahman, the power of Brahman cannot touch Lord Krishna. Since Parikshit Maharaj, though burned by the Brahmastra weapon, was easily saved by the Lord. Lord Shiva was clearly defeated by Lord Krishna in the battle with the Banasur. And the hunter of Jara was sent to a Vaikuntha planet in his same human body. Death is an insignificant expansion of Lord Krishna's external potency and cannot possibly act upon the Lord himself. Those who actually understand the transcendental nature of the Lord Krishna's activities will find convincing evidence in these examples. Because you see, good examples actually, appropriate examples. Brahmana's curse cannot affect him because he saved Parikshit from the Brahmastra, which is nothing but the Brahmana Astra. And also Krishna, so that's the death master, is Shiva. He defeated death master also. So like this, such a great personality, how he will be, so how he cannot protect himself. Tatapya sesha sthiti sambhavapyeshva ananya hetur yadasesha shakti druk naichat pranetum vapuratra seshitam martyena kim swastaghatim pradarshayan. Although Lord Krishna, being the possessor of infinite power, is the only cause of the creation, maintenance, and destruction of innumerable living beings, he simply didn't desire to keep his body in this world any longer. Thus, he revealed the destination of those fixed in the self and demonstrated that this mortal world is of no intrinsic value. Purport. Although Lord Krishna descended to this world to save all fallen souls, he didn't want to encourage people in the future to loiter here unnecessarily. In other words, as soon as possible, one should perfect one's Krishna consciousness and go back home, back to Godhead. If Lord Krishna had remained longer on the earth, we would have unnecessarily increased the prestige of the material world. As stated by Sri Uddhava in Srimad Bhagavatam, Adyantaradhat yastu swabhimbam lokalochanam. So Lord Sri Krishna, who manifested his eternal form before the vision of all on the earth, performed his disappearance by removing his form from the sight of those who are unable to see him as he is due to not executing the required penance. Uddhava also states in the Bhagavatam, Devasya, under no circumstances can the words of person bewildered by illusory energy of the Lord deviate the intelligence of those who are completely surrendered souls. One who follows the Vaishnava authorities in his attempt to understand Lord Krishna's transcendental disappearance easily appreciates that the Lord is omnipotent personality of Godhead and that his spiritual body is identical with his eternal spiritual potency. ययेतां प्रातरुत्थाय कृष्णस्य पदवीं परां प्रयतः कीर्तयेत् भक्त्या तामेवाप्नोत्यनुत्तमाम्. Anyone who regularly rises early in the morning and carefully chants with devotion the glories of Lord Sri Krishna's transcendental disappearance and his return to his own abode will certainly achieve that the same supreme destination. Falasruti this is. So we will also get the same thing. Okay, next. दारुको द्वारकामेत्य वसुदेवाग्रसेनयोः पतित्वा चरणवस्त्रै न्यषिञ्चत् कृष्णविच्युतः. As soon as Daruka reached Dwaraka, he threw himself at the feet of Vasudeva and Ugrasena and drenched their feet with his tears, lamenting the loss of Lord Krishna. कथयामास निधनं कृष्णेनां कृष्णशोरूपा तच्छ्रुत्वोद्विग्नहृदया जना शोकविमूर्छिता तत्रस्मा त्वरिता जग्मुः कृष्ण विश्लेषविह्वला व्यसवः शेरते यत्र ज्ञातयो ज्ञन्त आननम्. Daruka delivered the account of the total destruction of the Vrishnis, and upon hearing this, O Parikshit, the people became deeply distraught in their hearts and stunned with sorrow. Feeling the overwhelming pain of separation from Krishna, they struck their own faces while hurrying to the place where their relatives lay dead. So that happened. So this another scene that with Daruka came. Krishna also left so in front of demigods, and Daruka reached to the Dwarika and he explained the total situation. Now all those are in the lamentation, all the Dwaraka Vasis. So because all women is remaining there. So women, children and old men. These only na. So all those. So now they started, that means coming back to see the Dwarika, it's a Prabhasa Kshetra. They are going to come Prabhasa Kshetra and they will also enter into the fire now. Devaki Rohini Chaiva Vasudevastata Suto Krishna Rama Vapashyantaha Shokarta Vijahusrutim. When Devaki, Rohini, and Vasudeva couldn't find their sons Krishna and Rama, they lost consciousness out of anguish. Pranamsa Vijahustatra Bhagavad Virahaturaha Upaguhya Patinstata Chita Maruru Striyaha. Tormented by separation from the Lord, his parents gave up their lives at that very spot. My dear Parikshit, the wives of the Yadavas then climbed onto the funeral pyres, embracing their dead husbands. These are all drama actually. It's illusion, magic. It's completely magic. Because nobody dead there actually. Rama Patnyascha Ramapatnyascha Taddeha Upaguhyagnimupavishan Vasudeva Patnyas Tadgatram Pradyumnadin Hare Snusha Krishna Patnyo Vishanagnim Rukminyadyastadatmika. The wives of the Lord Balaram also entered the fire and embraced his body. And Vasudeva's wives entered this fire and embraced his body. The daughters-in-law of Lord Hari entered the funeral fires of their respective husbands, headed by Pradyumna. And Rukmini and the other wives of the Lord Krishna, whose hearts were completely absorbed in him, entered his fire. These are all written, that's all, in this book. It didn't happen. Yes? Maniji, you understood yesterday what he said? Just it's written, it's illusion of illusion. It is understood that the anguished scene described here is a display of the Lord's illusory potency, adding a final dramatic note to Lord Krishna's pastimes on the earth. In reality, Lord Krishna returned to his eternal abode in his original body, and his eternal associates returned with him. The final heartbreaking scene of the Lord's pastimes is creation of Lord's internal potency that bring the Lord's manifest pastimes to perfect and dramatic end. So let me see the 20th. Yes, Vishwanath Chakravarti explained the story. King was seeing everything. Everything is magic. When a person is stimulating, but nothing happened that. It's illusion. Same is this illusory story. This is. It's illusion and it's not written like illusion. It is written like original by these acharyas. But it is illusion. It's Maya. Arjuna preyasasakyo Krishnasya virahaturaha Atmanam swantayamasa Krishna Gita saduktibihi. Arjuna felt great distress over the separation from the Lord Krishna, his dearmost friend, but he consoled himself by remembering the transcendental words the Lord had sung to him. According to Srila Sridhar Swami, Arjuna remembered such verses from the Gitas. Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavritah mudoyam na vijanati lokamam majam avyayam. So this kind of slokas he was remembering. So that means I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them, I am covered by external creative potency yogamaya. And so the deluded world knows me not who am unborn and infallible. Sri Jiva Goswami has mentioned the Gita verses Mame Vaishyasi Satyam Te Pratijane Priyosi Me. So, yeah, you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. He has also quoted from the Swarga Parva of the Mahabharata as follows. ददर्श तत्र गोविन्दं ब्रह्मणे वपुषान्वितं तेनैव दृष्ट्वा पूर्णेन सादृश्योपासुचितम्. This is all this. Translation I will read. There Yudhishthir saw Lord Govinda, the absolute truth in his original personal form. He appeared just as Yudhishthira had seen him before with all the same characteristics. He was glowing brilliantly with the effulgence coming from his own body. This is in the Swarga Parva. That means Swargana, that means last. Pandavas, when they were leaving, they also saw the Lord. That means all the demigods are worshipping Krishna. So, thus you see, when these two lions among men who are worshipable by the demigods noticed so they approached him with the proper. So anyway, he was glowing brilliantly with the effulgence coming from his own body, and he was surrounded by his transcendental weapons, the disc and so on, which appeared in the fearsome personified forms. O descendant of Kunti, Lord Madhusudana was being worshipped by the effulgent hero Arjuna, who was appeared in his original form. When these two lions among men, who were worshipable by the demigods, noticed the presence of Yudhishthira, so they approached him with proper respect and offered him worship. So when Yudhishthira went to the Swarga, all dropped actually. Yudhishthira alone enters. Then he saw the Krishna there. बन्धूनां नष्टगोत्राणाम् अर्जुन साम्परायिकं हतानां कारयामास यथा वदनु पूर्वशः. Arjuna then saw to it that the funeral rites were properly carried out for the dead, who had no remaining male family members. He executed the required ceremonies for each of Yadus and after another, because he is only the person. For everyone, he only finished all the funeral rites. द्वारिकां हरिणां त्यक्तां समुद्रे प्लवयत् क्षणात् वर्जयित्वा महाराजा श्रीमद्भगवदालयम्. As soon as Dwarika was abandoned by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ocean flooded it on all sides, O king, sparing only his place. Srila Jiva Goswami explains that whereas the external manifestation of the Lord's abode was covered by the ocean, the Lord's eternal Dwarika exists beyond the material universe and certainly beyond the material ocean. Dwarika had been constructed by Vishwakarma, the architect of the demigods, and the Sudharma assembly hall had been brought from heaven. In that city, there were many beautiful and splendorous residences of the aristocratic Yadu dynasty. And the most beautiful residence of all was that the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srila Jiva Goswami mentions that even in the modern age, people who live near the site of a original Dwarika sometimes catch a glimpse of it in the ocean. Ultimately, the Lord associates the abode or eternal, and one who has understand this is qualified to become fully Krishna conscious. That means original Dwaraka still it is there and it will be there eternally. That's the point. नित्यं सन्निहितस्तत्र भगवान् मधुसूदनः सत्याशेष शुभहरं स्मृत्याशेष शुभहरं सर्वमङ्गलमङ्गलं. Lord Madhusudana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is eternally present in Dwaraka. It is the most auspicious of all auspicious places, and merely remembering it destroys all contamination. Yeah, yes. स्त्रीबालवृद्धानादाय हतशेषान्दनञ्जयः इन्द्रप्रस्थं समावेश वज्रं तत्राप्यशेचयत्. Arjuna took the survivors of the Yadu dynasty, the women, children, and old men to Indraprastha, where he installed Vajra as ruler of the Yadus. So Vajra is a person. Vajra is a son of the Anuruddha. So Vajra is the son of the Anuruddha. He was so he brought Indraprastha. He kept all them in some place, and he made Vajra as a king for them. Srutva सुहृद्वदं राजन् अर्जुनान्ते पितामह त्वां तु वंशधरं कृत्वा जग्मुः सर्वे महापथम्. Hearing from Arjuna of the death of their friend, my dear king, your grandfathers established you as the maintainer of the dynasty and left to prepare for their departure from this world. Even Pandavas also, after hearing this, they also got that means Karunya Rasa. So they are also lamenting and they also left to Swarga, that means Swargarohan. Yayetadeva devasya Vishnu karmani janmacha kirtaya shraddhaya martyaha sarva papai pramuchyate. A person who with faith engages in chanting the glories of these various pastimes and incarnations of Vishnu, the Lord of Lords, will gain liberation from all sins. Ittam Harer Bhagavato Ruchiravatara Piryani Bala Charitani Cha Shantamani Anyatra Cheha Cha Srutani Grunan Manusho Bhaktim Param Paramaham Sagatau Labheta. The all auspicious exploits of the all attractive incarnations of Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and also the pastimes he performed as a child are described in the Srimad Bhagavatam and in other scriptures. Anyone who clearly chants these descriptions of his pastimes will attain transcendental loving service unto Lord Krishna, who is the goal of all perfect sages. Then the purports of the humble servants of his divine grace, S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, to the 11th Canto 31st chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Disappearance of the Lord Sri Krishna. The 11th canto was completed at the New Gokula South American pilgrimage site, state of Sao Paulo, Brazil, on Friday, March 26, 1982. End of the 11th canto. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, this only the few points. Whatever the Leela happened, that is just illusory. It's like a magic. It's magic, and everything is magic, and it is written. And the reason you all know. Yesterday we discussed. That much is the main thing you should know. And remaining is okay, fine. So nothing else is there. Okay, we'll meet. This we'll meet in some other time in the life. Hare Krishna. Jai Damar Prabhu will be teaching tomorrow onwards, 12th canto. So he will go with a good speed. Maybe he's having his own planning, how the way he wants to teach. So he will finish within given time. May 2nd is the last. Okay, I will send the question bank. Okay, in 1 or 2 days. That's the first 10 chapters I will send. Then after that, keep on preparing and write. Now your work is still pending. Mine is over. Yours is there. Okay. We'll see.
Hare Krishna, Dhanavad Pranam Shroji.
Pranam Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Kindly accept my humble obeisance at your lotus feet. It has been a journey for me personally with you, which was so relishable. You've been such wonderful teacher throughout the whole of this module of the Bhakti Vedanta. You have personally given so much of wonderful insights, taken such a great pains to impart us and give the insights with such exclusive expressions of philosophy. I'm greatly indebted. I just took up to this course as a curious seeker of Srimad Bhagavatam, but you really gave the insights of making us to become sincere and serious seekers. I personally am greatly indebted to you because your words keep ringing in my ears all the time. The way how you chant the slokas and the way how you mildly chastise us, and sometimes you give us that kind of exercises. We have become completely bewildered what to answer, and please forgive us for any kind of our shortcomings. At least on my part, I would say that I am not even a speck of dust at all those wonderful exalted students who are sitting there in IBMV. And certainly I can not compare myself in any way, either in my social status. According to Varnashrama, I am a fallen person. So it is your causeless mercy you gave me this opportunity and association. I remember the day that I had called you up, and you gave me the permission to be seated in this great, wonderful association of devotees. I'm greatly indebted to you, and I will continue to have your association, even if somehow my lost intelligence uh, causes some kind of a distraught pain to you. Please bear me, because I need your association and guidance throughout my whole life. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. So yeah, I was remembering actually 2 years back you were so requesting. Nice, Prabhu. So nice association. Everyone, actually, I'm really indebted to all the students because they gave opportunity to speak something. Of course, I'm not really qualified, so I tried. So definitely, we try to. I will try to improve. Okay, so wish you all the best for all of you for your future. And if you have some time, maybe you can hear back the lectures. Already, we are going to give those. So whenever you need, so that many important points are there in the Uddhav Gita also. Really very important section this we discussed. Okay, all the best. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.